Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, I have received several different messages lately from folks about Marjorie Taylor Greene putting in her resignation or something like that for Congress, saying that she's going to leave early, essentially, and then other people saying something related to that, that because of her leaving or in joining in with her leaving, that there would be other Congress people potentially considering stepping aside as well. So basically, people are asking all kinds of questions of what's going on, why is this happening, what is this going to look like, where are we headed, all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to take a look into that today. I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and on these videos we do take a look at the tea with the tarot. Don't let that freak you out. Got a good track record here on the channel. And I'm going to go ahead and move everything to show the cards. So let's move this microphone right here. Old Penelope, poor thing, during our live stream yesterday, she had some sort of an issue where she wasn't doing her sound very well. And we were trying to do like live and real-time sound checks. And afterwards, I was trying to watch it back and I'm like, this just sounds bad. So I did like 2 hours worth of troubleshooting yesterday and think I got her fixed. Had to download new drivers and like update my windows and unplug and replug everything and just do the whole 9 yards. So in my testing, it has so far looked like it was back to working again. So fingers crossed it works well in this video, and if it doesn't, my apologies. I really did try yesterday, and I'll try again if it's for some reason it's still messed up. But thank you for bearing with me and pushing through. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. As always, this is all alleged, just my interpretation. Gotta say that for the little YouTube overlords so they don't get mad. For whatever reason, let's just do what helps here, okay? The path of least resistance sometimes. We gotta pick and choose our battles. So I guess for the first question here, to really kind of get at what people are saying, I've got my little handy dandy sticky notes of questions that I have received from y'all. And the first one is, what is her real reason for resigning? Some people were saying, why is she resigning? What are her reasons? Some people are saying, are there real reasons to her resigning that she hasn't said or shared? Is there something deeper underneath the surface? Basically, you know, what is the real reason for her ending her, I don't know if you call it term early, whatever it is, taking off and leaving early? What is the real reason behind that for Miss Marjorie Taylor Greene? So let's see what we're allowed to know. Whatever we can find out, whatever we're allowed to know here. Okay, one at a time. I'm like, feeling like a big crowd of cards coming out here. Honestly, instead of pulling 6, I'm just going to leave it at these 3 because, good Lord, we've already got kind of a sense of things right here just from that. So just already seeing the Strength card coming up in reverse, the Knight of Wands upright, and the Hangman in reverse. This is his reverse position too. This, I mean, the Strength card in reverse quite literally means weakness. Like, I'm feeling weak here. I'm feeling like I'm not in my strong suit here. I'm feeling like I'm having to wrestle things and that it's still not working and not helping. So that in and of itself is a probably valid reason right there. I'm going to put this out there that people said she did make a video talking about her resignation. I have not seen that video, but I did hear someone say that she was, you know, vaguely listing out some reasons or something like that. I don't know if she elaborated on it. Like I said, I didn't see it, but they said that she was kind of mentioning some general reasons, and then that one of the things that she said was that she felt like you know, their hands were tied and they weren't getting much done, and she was frustrated with, you know, the process, and things just kind of seemed like, what are we doing here? And so if that is something that she expressed in her video, then I do see that coming up here as represented by the Strength card in reverse. I do see that. However, with these other two cards here, our Knight of Wands upright is kind of our, and I hate to say it, but our fuckboy card. He's kind of a get in, get out type of energy here, which is very interestingly juxtaposed by this guy, which in his reverse position is an extended, drawn out kind of pause or wait. So it's like, whoa, you have a get in and get out here, but then a very extended, drawn out kind of a thing. And so this looks like there's some, and I don't know if she said this is what's coming up in here. Like I said, I haven't watched her video on this, but this is looking like there's some kind of a mismatch between what she said about why she was like getting into this kind of thing in the first place, or what her plan was for serving in Congress, or all of that, and then what's actually happening. There's a little bit of a mismatch here. That could have been something that she's well aware of, that she did intentionally, or that could be something that, you know, has just kind of developed over time, and she never meant it to be this way or go this way, but it just did, you know. But either way, this seems to look like that initially when she went into Congress, that she was thinking more of it as a get in, get out kind of a thing, meaning that she was kind of a fast burning fire. This is our Wands card. It's a fire energy. That she was kind of a fast burning fire, and she felt like, I can get in there, I can burn my fire hard and fast, I can do what needs to be done, accomplish what I want to accomplish, and then that'll be that. Let me just, you know, just get in there and do the thing, and there we go. Right on out of, you know, storm on out of here after winning that battle, and look at me go kind of thing. Whereas this card with that extended, long, drawn out kind of energy here is like, uh-oh, I'm realizing what's actually happening is I'm just here hanging out, observing, just, you know, hello, we're all sitting here, we're all hanging here, kind of thing. And that she's realizing the whole get in there, burn real fast, you know, flame it up, accomplish what we need, and there we go, boom, problem solved. That it didn't turn out that way, and so she's disillusioned that it didn't turn out that way. So I don't know if she's claiming to leave under some kind of like really, you know, maybe moral or righteous reasons. I don't know if she is or not, but if she is, if that has come up, any kind of really like high ground and high morals, self-righteous kind of reasons for leaving, then I don't see that to be the case here. If she's not saying those kinds of things, then so far anything that I'm seeing may not be at odds with stuff that she's already shared. You know, I don't know what she has shared. I'm reading this cold. Most people prefer that I read things at least lukewarm, not fully know everything and develop an opinion and then try to read. You know, it's hard to be, you know, as neutral if you do it that way. So this is my way at neutrality here. So from what this is looking like, it just seems like, and this isn't meant to sound shady, I'm just throwing it out there. Usually, again, that fuckboy kind of energy is a bit of a cocky energy. Go figure. So people with this energy usually come off in some kind of a way as a bit arrogant, or, you know, maybe a little pretentious, or maybe a little full of themselves or something. And again, I'm really sorry for saying those things. A lot of us have those characteristics. I'm not trying to target her or be extra rude. I'm just saying that that kind of energy does come out. And so maybe she, at the beginning of all of this, kind of kind of was drinking her own Kool-Aid a little bit, thinking like, wow, I could be the one to change these things. I could be really good at this. I could get in there and get out because all these other people aren't doing it. I could do it better, kind of thing. And that hubris didn't pay off in the same way. And so it's like, oh, well, if I'm not going to be in here and being able to do all of those things, then it kind of fizzles out for me, and I'm just kind of not into it anymore, and it doesn't really light my fire anymore, and womp, womp, womp. You know, so that's kind of like, I'm bored of this, I'm over this, it's not fun for me anymore, kind of thing, with this energy. So again, not trying to throw shade at her. I don't know much about her. All I know is that she's in Congress, and I know that she is one of the people who, at least in the last few years, has been outspoken about a number of different things. So I know there's some people in Congress that are kind of more quiet, some people in Congress that are more outspoken. I know she's one of the more outspoken ones. That's about, you know, as far as I know. And I know, I think that she's in Georgia or something. I don't know that. I think I've heard that. So, this is kind of where they're going for the reasons why. Us just to be, you know, thorough, is there anything else in here about her reasons why that we should know about that, you know, could be a thing? Okay, we get a Knight of Swords and a Page of Swords, both in the upright position. Swords energy is quick energy. Swords energy is mental clarity. And so this is like, this kind of like, I'm thinking fast. When somebody is thinking fast, usually they're thinking a couple steps ahead. So in this case, the cards are describing her as quite intelligent. So again, they were describing her as a bit on the full of herself side, a bit on the cocky side, but they also describe her as highly intelligent. And they're putting out here that she's fast and she's thinking several steps ahead. And so because of that, that leads her to feel like this is a good decision. So there's something that she knows that makes her feel like doing this is getting several steps ahead of it. Dare I ask, what does she know? Ooh. What does she know? Ace of Pentacles in reverse, dropping the coin. So that's like dropping the ball, dropping the money, losing the goal, losing the thing. So that she's afraid of, or she knows about something that has to do with dropping the ball, losing some kind of funds, losing some sort of control, losing something tangible. So, you know, whatever she could tangibly lose, or whatever they, as a whole, as Congress, could tangibly lose, she's like, I'm seeing ahead of it, I'm getting ahead of it. So, I don't know if these are things that have already come up and out at the time of filming this. It is 3:50 on Wednesday, November 26th. These things may already be up and out, but like I said, I haven't watched anything on this. I'm reading this cold, so this is what I'm getting. So if there's other theories saying other things, this is what I'm getting. So I don't necessarily see anything in here that looks conspiratorial, or, you know, like, oh, it's way deeper than this. It's this deep, 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 deep thing here. I'm not necessarily seeing that. All of this stuff that I am seeing, I can kind of follow it, you know, and I can be like, okay, I guess it makes sense to be seeing that. And this is all I'm seeing. So just throwing that out there. That being said, there were people asking, does she have any plans of like starting a new party, you know, like a third party, or like running for president in the future or something like that? Is there that kind of a thing? And some of the people that were asking me that seemed hopeful that she is starting a new party or going to run for president in the future. And then there were a couple people that were asking those kinds of questions that seemed like, is that what she's doing? You know, is this some sneaky kind of way at being able to do that? and it seemed like they would not appreciate her doing that and going that route. So let's see what they have to say about that. Alright, let's get all shuffled back up. And as I am shuffling here, getting ready to ask these next questions about her, just want to mention that we do have a channel membership for the Perk Squad for anybody that would like extended videos or weekly forecasts to see what's kind of coming up every week, to have your own Penelopes by your name or your own emojis, or various different perks. That all of that is there. If you click the join button or the link in the description box, all of that can take you to the Perk Squad. And yeah, you can have at it. You can have fun. It's all over there. One of the fun things over there is that we do video shout outs. So shout out to you, Britt Mikara, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, and I'm sorry if I'm not, but shout out to you, Britt Mikara, and thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. Happy to have you. Alrighty, y'all. So I think we are sufficiently shuffled up, and let's take a peek into that idea of potentially starting a new party or running for president. So let's see what we get here. Okay, so in terms of what we have here, I'm not necessarily seeing things that make me think of a new party or like president, but I am getting these two, which those seem a little something special. So, okay, so in terms of breaking this down, with the Nine of Cups in reverse, this is like not like the wish card in reverse. So literally it's like not what I wanted. So if we're asking, do you want to start a new party? Do you want to run for president? This is like not what I wanted. So quite literally the very first card is like, no, that's not what I wanted. This Five of Swords is like, come hell or high water, I got to get the hell away from this. So this is like somebody that is so disenchanted with the system that they want to get away from it rather than get further into it. The Magician card in reverse, I mean, the Magician has all this control and all this power to wield all of these things with all the tools at their disposal, and this is just letting it all go. You know? Here, let me drop all these tools. Let me give it all away. Let me not. So this seems like, at least right now or in the near future, I'm not seeing any kind of plans like that whatsoever. So this really does feel like I'm through with you bitches and bye, you know? Like, Lord help. Down here though, once we get down here, because you know, of course, this may be how she feels now and into the near future, but we know with time, with the world changing, with stuff happening, people can suddenly decide to change their minds or have different feelings and opinions and stances on stuff. We don't always stay the same. And so I do see something kind of shifting here. Not sure how long this will take. I guess that's up to her and her free will, so she can decide. But I do see something building here. This Four of Swords, when it comes up in reverse, that is slightly an active card. Because in the upright position, this is a deep nap. We're taking a rest. We're laying down. But this is like time to get back up. You know, when it's in reverse, it's like it's time to get back up. Now, when we get back up, we don't usually shoot right out of bed. Usually we're like, okay, it's time to wake up. I guess I'll get ready for this day. Yeah, alright. Let me just get a little bit of dopamine on my phone a little bit and put my foot out of the bed for a little bit. You know, we take a little bit of time. And so it looks like she may not shoot back up and out into something new, but I don't think that this is kind of the last that we've heard from her, so to speak. This is a partnership card, and this is a Nine of Pentacles upright, doing well and kind of having it all. And so it does look like she's liable to partner up with somebody or some group, and that in her partnership she will once again be doing well for herself, but in a different way. So it may have some sort of relationship with politics. There may be some kind of influence that still has some sort of political leanings or political impacts or things like that, but it feels a little sidelined, you know, a little bit different. Let's see, I'm trying to think of an example that comes to mind, because I'm getting all these different things flashing through my mind, and I'm just trying to get one to stay still long enough to be able to kind of hold on to it. The only thing that they're putting in my head that I can kind of explain is, you know how if you, like my husband is from Mexico, so of course he loves his football. We call soccer here, you know. So, of course he loves his soccer. And he is all the time watching these games and stuff, and I'm hearing these people and the commentators saying their stuff, and I might be like, oh, I like this one's accent, or oh, that one sounds like they really know what's going on, and he'll be like, oh yeah, that one used to be a player, and you know, that one used to play, you know, on this team or that team or whatever, da 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 da. And so it's like they were players, they were in the game, they went through to their prime, and then when they got out, they still were somehow involved. They had their foot in the door some kind of a way. They didn't totally leave, but they were no longer like in the game. They're commentators or something. They're sitting at the table giving their opinion on the game that is currently happening or has already happened, and now it's over, and they're commentating on it. So that kind of a thing is the energy that I'm getting here. So whether it means like, oh, literally she's going to be some sort of a commentator or podcaster or something like that, or whether it means she's going to do something like, oh, I'm going to write a book on this, or, you know, I'm going to whatever kind of thing, or whether it means she becomes like a consultant for some kind of a company that has some sort of political ties or leanings or something. You know, there is a lingering in some sense, but not in it that I'm seeing here for her. So be curious to see what she chooses and when, because again, that's all up to her free will, which certainly tarot cannot interrupt. But I do see those leanings coming out for her in her future. So not necessarily looking like starting a new party or wanting to be president, because that feels too like in it here. This feels more, again, sideline. But very interesting, very interesting. So since this was her, that does lead into the fact that people were saying, what about other members of Congress? That there were some folks sharing things with me saying, hey, I've heard that potentially other members of Congress are also dissatisfied and unhappy. What if somebody else leaves? What if somebody else, you know, does this, that, or the other? What do you see for members of Congress? What do you see for, like, you know, basically these changes that are happening here? She was in the Republican Party, so, you know, for congressional Republicans and things like that. So let's take a peek at other people real quick and see what we can find out. Alright, so as we get shuffled up for these other people, Before I forget, I do want to mention that we are still in the midst of our year 6 channelversary sale. So every year around this time, the holiday seasons, I do a sale for any of the services on my website. So whether it's private tarot readings, whether it's Reiki Energy healing at a distance, whether it's intuitive healing sessions, or tarot tutoring, learning how to read the cards that way that I read them, all of that is on a 20% off sale. So the details of that, just so I'll spare you from saying them all on here, the details of all of that will be linked down below, probably like in a pinned comment, so that if you want to take part in that, you can. If you want to take part in that to schedule something soon, you can. If you want to take part in that and buy a gift certificate for someone or for yourself to redeem later, then you can. But all of that is going to be written out there in the pinned comment below. So y'all can check that out, and everything is at BeasTalksAndTarot.com. So, yep, I will save the spiel, and y'all can read it instead if you want to. That way, if you don't want to read it, you don't have to deal with it right now. Woohoo! Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Yeah, at the time of filming this, like I said, it's the 26th. So tomorrow for us here in the States is Thanksgiving for people who celebrate it. So for those of y'all who do, happy Thanksgiving to you. For those of y'all who don't, happy whatever it is that you choose to celebrate tomorrow while most of the United States is pausing kind of on holiday. Then, you know, happy celebrations to y'all however y'all choose to spend it. And everyone outside of the States, I just hope you're having a good damn week. You know, let's put it that way. Make it special some kind of way, just because. Alright, I think we're sufficiently shuffled up here. We've been shuffling for a hot minute. So let's go ahead and take a peek about these other members of Congress. What about them? Is this going to catalyze a movement? Or did she just kind of do this and it's like, okay, well, she did that. It was a big deal when it happened, and then now it's over. You know? What are we looking at with that? Okay. So, I'm sure we're all noticing the Tower card up right over here. Especially those of y'all who've been watching my channel a while. So I do think there are some pretty big things coming ahead for other people in Congress. I do think that we can say that. Yeah. First and foremost, the Ten of Pentacles is in reverse. This is a card that comes up for me all the time in my private readings as like kind of a marriage and family card. And so if it comes up in the reverse position, a lot of times that is what I call my divorce card. So there is some kind of a congressional divorce either happening or coming in the not too distant future here. So that's the very first thing I'm seeing is a divorce. Then I'm seeing this way, or monkey in the middle. So you're either on this side of this, you're on that side of this, or you're somewhere in this neverland of purgatory lost in the middle. And then here we go again with that similar symbolism. You choose this path or you choose that path, but you must make a choice. And mind you, this woman is making a choice, but she's making a choice with a blindfold on. So even if we've got a Tower card down here, this top row is intense in and of itself. Like, it looks like there will be some sort of a divorce happening, some sort of schisming going on in Congress, that there will be people pressured increasingly to pick who are you allying with, this or that. There will be people that are kind of lost in the middle, like, I don't want to pick sides, the fuck is this? That's not what I want to do. But even they are going to be in some sort of a situation where they either have to make a choice or a choice is made for them some kind of a way. And there will be decisions going up in the air as a result of all of this. Like, okay, well, now that all of this is happening, we have to figure some things out stat. So I do see a bit of a crumbling in that kind of a way, and a scattered scurrying of choosing alliances and damage controls and, you know, trying to save face and all this kind of weirdness. So I don't see this as a she's just gone and that's just that. I do think something wild is about to take place. As I nervously laugh because this is my government and I am stuck here. Don't get me wrong, I am not one of those America haters. I have traveled enough to other countries and to developing areas that are not first world enough to see what I have here and to be grateful for it. Because like I said, I know how people have to live when they don't get to live in first world. But I still want this to be happening, and I don't want to be stuck under a government doing this. You know, that's kind of scary. So, cue the nervous laughter for this top row. Expanding on that some more, here's our bottom row. First of all, everyone say it with me. Y'all know who this is. This is... Hope you said President Trump. Are we doing good, Dora the Explorer? This is Trump. President Trump. Can you say Trump? You know, whatever. I don't know. I didn't watch Dora the Explorer very much. I shouldn't have drank caffeine this morning. But that's what our Emperor card comes up as, a lot more looking into politics, and here it is. It's here in the upright position, which means he's got some sort of stronghold here, and so we've got the Chariot card, which is a moving forward, like we're going to drive straight through, we're going to mow right through it, we're going to keep pushing, we're going to go, boom, let's do it, let's figure it out, this is how it's going to be. And then Tower card, Tower moment, a crumbling tower. So I do think we're about to hit some weird stuff. This feels tumultuous, if we're going to be saying it kindly. This feels tumultuous. Congress is fixing to get silly. Trying to say it nicely. So yeah, I do see some shakeups happening. I do see this all kind of revolving around President Trump. And this is going to have to be a hard time to be a member of Congress. So, in terms of what we're seeing here, I do see that there will be at least one person, probably more, trying to come through to smooth things over, to be like the one with the kind of, how do you put it, like saving the day emotionally. I don't want to put it like saving the day as in rescuer, as somebody's going to rescue this. I don't see that. But like as in we have a tendency to look at certain people and things that they do and say, and we have a tendency as humans to say, these are the good guys and these are the bad guys. You know, even if we don't agree on who the good guys and the bad guys are, we have a tendency to want to categorize people that way. And there will be at least one person, maybe more people, that kind of come out of this seeming like I can at least identify you as a good guy type of thing. Or good woman, you know, either way. And that will have a sense for not necessarily who to root for, but kind of. I don't know. This is getting really Hunger Games-ish. It's getting a little weird. So, but I'm just trying to explain, trying to say what I say, just trying to put it out there. And so we will at least have something like that. The Hermit card in reverse is like a deep soul searching, a deep thinking about this, a deep, like, we really got to take a look at this. This really, come on now. Let's really think deep and soul search about this. As a come to Jesus kind of moment. And then the Six of Swords does go from these choppy waters to smoother waters. So whatever happens, I do see the ability for things to get better and improve and smooth out. So that is a positive, at least. We see one hell of a shit show coming, but there is a positive that can come from this. It can stabilize, but it's got to go through one hell of a storm first before it stabilizes. So, I guess just pulling myself out of this for a second, I would encourage us that as this happens, maybe we don't watch the stories too hard and get too invested into it to where we start losing our own sanity and letting our own mental health go to shit. Maybe in this time as this happens, we can try our best to the extent that we're able to just be like, okay, this is a them issue and they're going to fix their them issue and they're going to go through their little shit and they're going to do their group norming and storming, and then eventually they will make it to the Six of Swords and they will figure it out, and I'm just going to live my life the best way that I can and try my best to focus on the things that are in my control, that the things that do bring me joy and make me feel like life is worth living, instead of just putting my head in the shitter and just letting it stay there. Because I'm telling you, this will be a kind of time that if we allow ourselves to get too involved and too attached to whatever's happening, we might sink our own ships as we're watching them sink theirs. But they'll be able to rebuild theirs. What's going to be able to rebuild us if we allow ourselves to kind of go down the gutter? We don't want to do that, okay? So let's just, try to be smart about this. And pretend this was back in the old days, like in the 1700s, when there wasn't internet and TV. And so if they were having this kind of explosive fighting and whatever going on in Congress, you would never know about it if you were Joe Blow farmer in the middle of, I don't know, Alabama, just doing your thing. You would never even know that they were having some shit go on. You were just worried about your little farm and making sure that you milked your cows and that your goats didn't get eaten by some kind of coyote or something. So I don't know, just be a goat farmer during this period of time to the best that you can. Oh, wow. Okay. So I think we see from all of these questions the big lay of the land happening here, that's starting with Marjorie Taylor Greene, going to extend beyond her into other members of Congress, into the Republican Party, and possibly also by extension having some kind of things happening in the Democratic Party as well, because we know Republicans and Democrats both are in Congress. Whatever is going to affect one is going to be impacting the other one some sort of a way. So we're going to be seeing all of this play out. We're going to see some sort of stabilization at some point in probably the not too distant future, but this may take a while to play out. This may take a while to sort itself. So we're just going to have to let that process happen and, do the best we can in our lives for us in the meantime. So, y'all. Two things. One, as always, if you'd like to book a private reading, BeasTalksAndTarot.com, and we talked about the Channelversary sale with the details in the pinned comment. Two, we need to do our giveaway announcement. So, we have not yet announced our winner for the November 2025 giveaway. So I am going to go ahead and put the clip of the random winner generator picker thingy choosing who is going to win for the month of November, and I will plug it in right here. So let's see, future Beatrice, go ahead and film that and put that in here, and let's see what happens. Let's see who wins. Alrighty, y'all, here we are once again to choose our monthly winner. This time, seeing who will win for the month of November 2025. So let's see, we're going to choose our winner. We've already got the word win right here, and the winner will get a free 15-minute private tarot reading with me. So let's see. All right. Woohoo! So, congratulations to Kathleen Olson, 3658. You are our November winner. I love the little heart emoji that you have there. So, all you have to do is just email me at BeasTalksAndTarot@gmail.com to claim your prize, and we'll make it official. So, congratulations, Kathleen Olson, 3658. Woo-woo! Alrighty, so congratulations. It is now past Beatrice again, and I am saying congratulations to whoever I have chosen from the future, the random picker generator. So congratulations to you, and you can go ahead and email me so you can collect your prize, and we will be soon choosing a new winner. Because we do every single month, we do this. We choose, we open a new giveaway for a new winner to win a free 15-minute private tarot reading with me. So, knowing that December is in how many days now? Let's see, if today is the 26th, I so ain't gonna count. Wait, today's the 26th, so 27, 28, 29, 30. We did it together! 5 days. In 5 days, December will be upon us, and we will need to reopen an entirely new giveaway so that we can choose a new winner. So make sure that you are subscribed and do all the little clickety things, click the bell and choose all notifications so that you'll be able to know when the December video comes up, and you will be able to enter into the giveaway so that you might be chosen in the future. We do them every single month. So we will do that. Congratulations again to our winner for November, and let's end this video on a lifted note. Let's go ahead and put a B-roll at the end of this, so puppy shenanigans, things like that, to make everything nice and light and lifted and fun, ending on a positive. And as I looked down just now at my little time ticker tape, it said 41 minutes and 41 seconds. So I'm actually going to pull up my little angel numbers app thing here and look up the number 41, because 41 minutes and 41 seconds, I am curious. What does the number 41 mean? Because that's our message for today, apparently. The angels say, watch your thoughts and only think about love and success. In this way, only love and success come into your life. The angels are available to help you choose positive thoughts as you call upon them for help. So that's what, I'm just trying to block these so you can see that that's the message for 41. So that's what 41 says in the angel numbers. And so, I know, nothing's ever going to get clear. I can't, okay, there you go. There you go. So, that is our message for today. Our parting message is that we should be thinking about love and success and focusing on those things. It doesn't mean we have to, filter out everything and do toxic positivity and ignore the negatives. It just means take some time for those, to address them how they need to be. Address them so that they can pull up their anchor and float away. And redirect your focus onto love and success and positivity, apparently. And if we have a hard time with that, calling upon the angels for help to ask for assistance with that is the suggestion here. So as we enter into the day of Thanksgiving, the week of giving thanks, the holiday season, for those of us who don't give a rat's ass about Thanksgiving, I know there's a lot of folks out here that don't, then the holiday season in general, boom, there we go. There's our message. So ending with a nice grounding message. That was cool. Angel message. And let's go ahead and do some puppy B-rolls. End with some shenanigans. Hope that we're light and lifted and feeling good this week. And y'all know I will come back and do a December video with y'all soon so we can see what's up ahead for the last month of 2025. We have made it. We're all strong enough to have made it to this point. Congratulations to us. Cheers to us. Fizzy Water, Spindrift, Barry Bellino. Cheers. And don't be a stranger. Come back and see me and I will talk at you later. Bye, y'all. Alright, editing me. I don't have my lights on or anything like that. I mean, I have my background lights. I don't have this light on anymore. Just coming in to say I'm sorry about the sound issue. It happened again. It apparently happened when I flipped frames from this frame into this frame with the cards, and as soon as I did that, everything fell apart, and so that means the entire video went to shit with the sound, and I am so sorry. I'm noticing it now in editing, and there's nothing I can do about it after the fact, so I'm so sorry. But as you can see, I have fixed it now, and look at this little blooper thing of me neurotically trying to fix every last little scene I could possibly fix. Here we go. Ugh. Sorry. Alrighty, here we go. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Moving on to recording cards. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Moving on to logo scene. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Moving on to live stream cards. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Moving on to live stream me. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Moving back to recording cards. And back to me. This is a teddy on my lap. However, can you tell he's not laying on the couch? That is a bot. And a tail. That is an ear. And a head. You're laying directly on your sister. Rude. He hid because he was sleeping on Lamb Chop's butt. You have a bad butt. Teats McGoots.